Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today I want to talk a little bit more about MCP services and the dangers associated with tool invocation. Today we are talking about spawning shells. So classic in red teaming, and also the bad guys obviously use it if you want to compromise a laptop, and you simply, there is like bind shells and reverse shells and whatnot. That doesn't really matter here. The concept is the same, but what I want to show you is, like, if you have Claude desktop, for example, and then you have it hooked up with a desktop commander or some other MCP server where you can issue local commands and where you can search for files or modify files and operate with your local system, that can get sour really quick. So what I'm going to do here is, I have a netcat listener on Amazon, right, and very basic, on port 4444. And what I'm saying here is just like to the tool run and execute the shell script. So the shell script is a bash one-liner to spawn the shell to that destination. So I just put this in here and see what happens. So it's going to run this, and it will require confirmation, and in that minute you already see that I have the shell. And if I do like a uname -a, yeah, that's my machine, and who am I? So full compromise, so to speak, right? And now you might ask, hey, how you're doing this on your local machine and stuff, and you prepared that file. That's totally correct, but the real problem is, you could change this, and you could basically say, like, use a curl, for example. So use a curl command and then download that malicious instruction, for example, onto your desktop, and then once it's downloaded, execute it, right? Like this. So this is very easy to actually get it there. And then more problematic is the fact that this one, you would not type this into Claude, right? Like the user would unlikely type this into Claude. You will put this as an indirect prompt injection somewhere, and whereby you basically would choose, for example, like a common drive or like a shared folder everyone is accessing in the organization or something like this. And it could be by email as well and things like this. And then when the AI bot consumes it, and the same AI bot basically has access to your internal tooling and stuff like that, then a simple prompt injection could then basically invoke like a script, download the script, and then run the script. And I have tested this successfully on 2 of the frontier model providers, but I'm not demonstrating this because of YouTube policies, right? Like this is getting into kind of hacking, and the wrong people could use this for malicious purposes and stuff. And I mean, this is an educational channel, and I'm here to educate and teach cyber professionals, but obviously, like, not all payloads are permitted on YouTube, so I can't show you this. But it's basically that concept what I've just demonstrated. Now, to make matters worse here is, if I decide to shut Claude down, right? For example, quit. That shell remains active. You can see this here, right? Like I still have it, and this is a basic shell, right? Like this is not something like with stickiness or persistency or meterpreter or any of that. So if you would do this as a part of a red team engagement, you would make this persistent right away and stuff like that. But this is yet again another example where I want to show you and highlight the threats you have with agentic AI, and how easily a desktop or a laptop or what have you can be compromised, right? That's all for today. That's all for today's video. I hope you learned something, and I will see you in the next one.